Students, in today's class, I will explain you the poem The Voice of the Rain written by Walt Whitman. Before I begin the line by line explanation, let me tell you something about the poet Walt Whitman. Poet Walt Whitman was born on 31st May 1819 and died on 26 March 1892. He is one of the greatest American poets, journalist, essayist, novelist, and short story writers. He worked as a teacher, printer, editor, and journalist. His poetry deals with the essence of life. Now, the introduction of the poem. The voice of the rain is an imaginary dialogue between the poet and the rain. The poet casually asks the rain who it is, and to his surprise, the rain answers the question and tells about its birth and end. The poet understands the tale of rain and translates it for the readers. Now, the summary of the poem. In this poem, the poet asks the soft falling raindrops that who she is. It is strange that the rain answers, calling itself the poem of the earth. The rain says that she cannot be touched and rises up in the form of vapor out of the land and deep sea and rises up to heaven, that is sky, where it changes its form and becomes a cloud. But its existence remains the same, that is, rain or the water. Then it falls back to the surface of the earth to wash the drought filled lands. The seeds which are dominant under the soil, they germinate with its help. The earth becomes clean, green, and beautiful. The poet says that the rain returns to its birthplace, that is the earth, making its cycle complete, its water cycle. Here I'll tell you about the water cycle. You might remember that we studied this about water cycle in junior classes in class 3, 4, 5, 6 in a science. So here is a picture of water cycle. You can see river water. The water gets heated up by the sun and then goes up as water vapor. Then water vapors forms clouds in the sky. Then again clouds cannot hold big drops of water, so these water drops come down as rain, and then again it reaches the river. So this full water cycle goes on, it takes place permanently. The rain talks about the same water cycle. Now let's come back to the summary. At the end, the poet describes his observation about the life course of a song and draws similarities between the life cycle of a song and rain. Like rain, song, or you can say the poetry, rises from a point of its origin, that is from the heart of the writer or the poet, and wanders and moves out and it goes to the other and then returns to its creator with love, and then it comes back to the writer, to the poet, whether it was noticed or not, whether it was appreciated or not. So here the summary ends. Now let's come to the line by line explanation of the poem. And who art thou? Said I to the soft falling shower. Over here, thou means you. And who are you? Said I. I is the poet. Poet asked the rain that who are you? Which strange to tell gave me an answer as here translated. And when the poet asked the rain that who she is, it was strange, very surprisingly for the poet to get back an answer from the rain, because we can imagine that rain will never give us answer back, but over here the poet gets an answer, and the rain says, I am the poem of earth, said the voice of the rain. Over here the rain tells the poet that she is the poem of the earth. Eternal I rise, impalpable out of the land and the bottomless sea. eternal. The meaning of eternal over here is never ending, continuously. Continuously I rise, impalpable. That means untouched. It's untouchable. The water vapor is untouchable. And then the rain says that eternally, continuously I rise up out of the land and the bottomless sea. From where does it rise? It rises from the land and the sea, which means the process of evaporation takes place over here. And the rain says that permanently this process of coming out and rising up to the sky or to the heaven takes place, where it changes into cloud. Upward to heaven, whence vaguely formed, altogether changed and yet the same. And it rises upward to heaven, upward to sky, whence, from where, vaguely formed, unclearly, it is unclearly formed, altogether changed. Now completely it's been changed. In the sea or in the river, it has a liquid form, and then when it evaporates, again a form of gas, and then again when it reaches to the cloud, it again forms its form changes, and yet the same, but still it remains the same. That means still it has within inside it is water. I descend to lave the draught. I descend over means I'm being called down back to the earth to wash. To lave means to wash the draughts over here means the dry lands. Atomies are the small particles, dust layers of the globe, and all that in them without me were seeds only latent unborn. And without rain, the seeds which are hidden in the soil, they are unborn. The rain says that from the cloud it falls in the form of small droplets and come back to the earth, where it washes the dry lands, small particles and dust layers on the globe. Next rain says that if she would have not fallen, then this hidden seeds would not have been germinated and remained unborn in the soil. Now, next line. And forever by day and night I give back life to my own origin. And in this line, the rain says that day and night this water cycle takes place, this processing takes place, and makes life possible on the earth. It also beautifies the earth. Everything becomes neat and clear. And forever by day and night I give back life to my own origin and make pure and beautify it. And with this process, it beautifies the nature, it clears the nature. Here the conversation between the poet and the rain ends. And the last three lines for song, issuing from its birthplace after fulfillment, wandering, racked or unracked duly with love returns. In these last three lines, the poet thinks, and then after that, he compares song with a rain. The life cycle of a rain and the life cycle of a song is being compared. The poet says, for song issuing from its birthplace after fulfillment, wandering, he says that such a song which comes out of the heart of the poet, and when he sings it for others, it passes from one person to the other. But he does not bother at all whether it's been heard or not, whether it's been noticed or unnoticed by anyone. The song will remain in his heart. The song will always purifies and makes its heart beautiful. Whether ragged or unragged, whether noticed or unnoticed by anyone, the song will remain in his heart and makes his heart beautiful. So here the explanation, line by line explanation of the poem ends. Hope you might have understood it well. Thank you.